One of the great things about living off grid, and once you get connected with your community and you start making friends and connections, you have people like your neighbors that give you food. They just gave us all of these tomatoes, as well as these here, as well as a whole container of bok choy. So I am no longer avoiding canning, and this is funny because this is how the universe works. This is how God works. When you try to avoid something, you end up being put in positions to do it anyway because you're meant to do it. So I'm meant to start canning because I need to practice more. And what better way to start canning if you don't have a pressure cooker than tomatoes because of high acidity. So I actually don't need a pressure cooker to cook to can these. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take little clips of, little video clips showing you exactly how I'm doing it. And yeah, almost done. I'm doing like 5 at a time. That's my scrap. It's gonna go straight to this chicken coop and the compost outside. And my pot is almost full. So as you can see, I've been putting onions in it. I'm gonna go ahead and put one more whole onion in the entire pot and it should be fine. And then I have a ton of garlic that I'm gonna put in. So stay tuned. I do want to mention again just how much of a blessing this is, because this is the perfect, these are the perfect type of tomatoes to be canning. Like this is what you would want to can to make tomato sauce. I'm also doing sun-dried tomatoes with the little ones back there that I showed you. So I'm grateful to be, for the first time ever in my entire life, to be part of a community that wants us to grow and thrive. And I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens next. All right, recording this before I end up running out of light. So it's pretty much done. This is a good consistency that I like. I'm gonna do big scoops of chunkiness, and then I'm gonna put some scoops of liquidiness in there. So look at that. And it smells so good. I wish you guys can smell it. This is awesome. So went ahead and got my jars ready. They're completely clean. Vinegar and water. I'm gonna put a little bit of lemon juice in there and then 2 garlic cloves in each jar. Maybe 4 because I like a lot of garlic. And then, yeah, go from there. Well, maybe I'll go ahead and show you me actually doing it really quick here. I'm gonna make a mess, I could already tell. I'm gonna make a mess. Really happy I got this thing. All right, I'm gonna keep doing this. All right, just got done. I probably have a couple more of these, but yeah, this is what it looks like. Went ahead and put garlic cloves at the bottom, some salt, some lemon, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in here once I clean it to do a water bath method, because that is the best method for this. And I also don't have a pressure cooker, so yeah. Let me know if you want to see more canning videos. I think I like recording and doing this. This is kind of fun. Just got done cutting these, and I have this much more, and it looks like I didn't even make a dent. So to be honest with you, I'm gonna save some for salads, and I think the only other option I have is making more sun-dried tomatoes, because there's no way we're gonna eat this many tomatoes, before they go bad. So we're about to have sun-dried tomatoes for life. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle the tomatoes with some salt and some seasoning, just because the salt's gonna make it dry up a little bit faster. I just wanna be careful. Just a little bit of salt. Nothing crazy. And this is black volcanic salt. I have some Italian seasoning. Just gonna sprinkle this on. It should be good enough. Get the edges. Edges over here. All right, that's what it looks like. And gave our chickens all of those grape tomatoes we had because we just kept getting flies all over. I mean, we really weren't prepared to can food. So next time we'll be more prepared. I really wanted those grape tomatoes, but man, yeah, there's just too many flies on them. And then my cat stepped on them. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to can these and then try to eat them later, knowing that, they've been, bacterialized. So, I want to make this quick ending here about, so first of all, again, if you've watched my video this far and you like me canning and talking about the process, even a little bit, let me know and I'll start doing it more often, because I am planning on canning more often. I am being pushed, or I would say guided, toward more sustainable, toward a more self-sustainable lifestyle. All of us are being guided in some way, shape, or form to start changing our lifestyle, whether it be the things that we consume, or it might be, realizing that we need to relearn the methods of living without assistance, without support. And I'm not referring to not support in the community. I'm referring to not support from, or not having support from the construct, the system, the matrix. So I talk a lot about that because that's the reason why I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Arizona. I got this property of land after getting not just guided, but also having a premonition dream. And I won't go into the dream and all the details, but I'm here now, and my intention on this property, my intention here hasn't been more clear until now, until recently. And now I know that I'm supposed to be setting up some sort of assistance for the rest of the community, the people that end up here. So I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a great healer. I love speaking to people about their experiences and the things they've gone through. It comes very naturally to me, and I know that's going to be my role in the community. But I want to ask you, if you're watching this video, do you know what role you'll play? Do you know who you're going to be? And you have to really consider who you've been. The things, the roles you've played in other people's relationships, with your families and your friends and your loved ones. Who have you been in that scenario, in those relationships? So I asked myself that, and immediately I already know I'm going to be the healer. I'm going to be the person that people goes to speak, and I'm going to be growing herbs and, making healing medicines. Anything that makes me excited and I'm passionate about that I've done in the past now has a role in this future, a post-apocalyptic world that we keep hearing about. So think about that for a second. Everything you've done in the past has paved the way for where you're going to be now and where you're going to be in the future in the next 5 years. So ask yourself, what role are you going to play? So now that I've come to that conclusion, I know that this property that I have, this 2.5 acres, needs to be a little bit bigger, and it needs to be big enough for a decent amount of agriculture and farming. So I'm going to have livestock. I'm going to have, right now I have 2 chickens, but we're going to have livestock. We're going to have a lot of just food, natural food, organic food. And that's where canning comes in too. So it's just funny that my neighbor decided to give us so many tomatoes and so much food, because I wasn't planning on canning anytime soon. And now I'm gearing up to go ahead and do it, and it feels right. And that's the thing about purpose. That's the thing about being pushed and being guided to do something, is because if it's right in that moment, the pieces will fall in place rapidly. There's not going to be a question. You're not gonna be wondering if I should I do it now? It's literally gonna fall into place so quickly. It's gonna be like, oh, okay. You're not even gonna hesitate. And I love that. That's how I know that everything that I'm doing right now is literally everything that I'm supposed to be doing. So I want to ask you, if you're considering living off grid, if you're considering being more self-sustainable, it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a large city and you're in a very small apartment building. I want to challenge you to find a way, whether it be something simple or something really, really complicated, but find a way to obtain something that you normally would obtain from a grocery store yourself. And I know the first thing you're probably thinking is food. Okay, how can I grow food? How could I make sure that I have the protein that I need without having to go and rely on the system? Which I just want to remind you really quick here, the system isn't always going to be there. We know post C word, the beer flu. After that happened, we found out then the hard way. Most of us already knew, like me, most of us already knew what was up. But some of you really, 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 really held on to that support that we got from our government. And now you can't do that. So how can you challenge yourself and create some sort of, I would say instead, add to your practice, your daily routine? How can you add to it and be more self-sustainable? How can you get rid of the plastics? How can you go talk to your neighbors, say hi to your neighbors? How can you get to know the people around you and who they are, how they are, and the most difficult situations in their life? Do they maintain resiliency, or do they have some crazy anger issues and, make you a little fearful to be around them? So these are questions that you have to ask yourself, not because of fear, but because this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's always been since the dawn of time. The only reason why it's changed is because in order for the system to have control, they have to make us feel like we don't have power. If they can make us feel like we're powerless, then they can feed us these breadcrumbs and say, okay, well, now you can have a little bit more. Now you get to have the Chick-fil-A and the McDonald's, the, Burger Kings. And now you can slowly poison yourself while we make money off of you basically slowly committing, what. So I was really dramatic, I know, but that's the reason why I'm canning. And that's the reason why I'm being guided to do what I'm doing here, to start buying more animals and livestock and, start growing. And I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know that this is my path, and that confidence alone is going to give me the answers that I need. So I love you all. Thank you for existing. If you watch this video, let me know in the comments what you think. Peace.